What did you see in preseason weekend number 1 that stands out to you? I'll go macro with you. What lingers from the first 16 preseason games that you saw, David?
Well, the change in the NFL in the last few years, where there's less of a priority put on the preseason for your veterans. Very few places believe in playing the older guys, and a lot of those guys like Patrick Mahomes, they want to play at least a little bit. They want to get that juice going. Mm-hmm. They're doing these combined practices with other teams, and that's where they get the bulk of the work for the older guys. It's not live, there's not a lot of tackling, but they get that extra oomph of raising the level of competition. But I still love the preseason because you get a chance to see a lot of the rookies, a lot of guys, second, third-year guys trying to make the team. It's funny to me that the biggest quarterback battle in the league right now is the backup role for the San Francisco 49ers. That's fascinating. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but that's fascinating.
Well, you were there. You were in Niners training camp for Inside Training Camp for NFL Network, and I'm sure you saw what you saw yesterday. What did you see? What's your assessment of it right now, David? And I'm reserving judgment until the end. When all the snaps are taken and decisions have to be made. But it looked like about what I thought it was going to look like, which was Trey Lance hasn't played a lot of snaps of live football since his junior year of college, or his second last year of college, and that's what it looked like. He is big, he's athletic, he's got a strong arm. Almost pulled the trigger a couple times. He had to pull the ball back a couple of times, which just slows you down from getting from your first read to your second read, and took some hits, took some sacks, got into rhythm for a little bit, and started to look like the guy that not just the 49ers, but, more than half the league was super intrigued about this guy. His traits are real. His personality, his mentality, all that stuff's great. He just doesn't have the snaps. So you saw some of that. Escaped the pocket a couple times, made a couple throws in a row on the outside, which was great. And then Sam Darnold looked like the guy that most people were excited about when he came out of USC. If this guy gets protection, he can sit back in the pocket. He can make some great throws. He missed a couple. So neither guy is perfect, which makes it even more intriguing that there's not an easy way to say. So being in the Bay Area, it's really funny just to scan social media. And half the people are saying not just Trey Lance should be number 2, but Trey Lance should be number 1. Some people are saying trade Trey Lance, get him out of here. Sam Darnold's the obvious number 2. So there's just opinions are all over the place, but it's fascinating and fun to watch. Well, I know I sat next to you at the draft in Dallas, where Baker Mayfield went first, then Saquon, and then Darnold to the Jets. You were very high on Darnold. Obviously, you played against him and you had a game plan for him. But here he is now, and it does seem that, again, I know this is just for the backup role, but it does appear that he's finally in a spot. It took a while, but he's finally in a spot for himself. And I don't know what that means for Lance, obviously, but that's just my assessment, that he seems to finally be in the right spot. And interestingly enough, it's not to be the starter at present, David.
For what he did in college, Kyle's offense is such a perfect fit for him. Quick release. He's got a quick release and a strong arm. The combination of movements and play actions. Mm-hmm. He's a really good athlete throwing the ball on the edge. He's a good decision maker. Those years, with the Jets were really tough to watch because there's a lot on his shoulders, and he probably tried to do too much, which is tough when you're down by 3, you're down by 7 at the end of the game, and you're trying to make things happen. Especially when that happens week after week after week, you take too much on your shoulders. But in this offense with this team, gosh, you just drop back, get the ball out of your hands, put the ball in the playmaker's hands, and it seems like a great fit for him.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.